All right, so this for us to make it through this is simple, right? You have to understand and choose to know that you are energy. Now, energy is it means all kinds of things to everybody, right? Their interpretation. We keep it simple, right? Energy, right? You is what you are. It's what we are. So now, what is that energy? That energy is fire, which gives the light and the heat, as they say. But that's one up for discussion. Right? There's water, right? From the rain and the ocean and the rivers, water. There's earth, right? Anything that has form comes from the earth, right? And then there's air that blows and creates all movement. Now, these four put together creates the energy, is the energy, right? That universal energy. This is what makes that happen. But to allow these here to function, right, there had to be what? There had to be space. So with space, right, created room for the earth, the air, the water, and the fire, right? And this is why with this virus that we're dealing with here, it's very aggressive to the lungs, right? And without the lungs, the body loses air. If the body loses air, that's one of the elements, right? So it's five. So if you lose air, then the body's not here. The body can't be here because now it's not energy anymore, right? It's simple, right? Very simple. So if you look at the body and say, well, let's see. The GI tract now. What's happening with the GI tract? Because I was talking to somebody in the healthcare, and they were saying that now they're finding the virus in the stool. That means it's entering the digestive system. Now, the reason why it shouldn't be able to go down the digestive system, the GI tract, is because of the acid that is in your stomach. Remember, the virus can't take heat. It ain't surviving in heat, right? Heat will burn you. Acid will burn you. This is why it does not go down the digestive system. This is why it just populates and heads straight to the lungs, right? And as it goes to the lungs now, if the body doesn't have what it needs to fight, right? The energy it needs to fight, what is going to happen? The air is going to disappear from the body and the body dies. Simple as that. Now that we know, right? We know this is what they say. The virus cannot survive in heat, right? Nothing, no kind of fire, right? So when we look at nature now, what we find in nature that has a lot of fire to it, right? Because it's fire we're looking for. We have to fight this fire with fire, right? We have to fight this fire with fire because check this out. It can't take heat. And the quickest thing is to heat the body up. This is why your immune system kicks in, because what happens when the virus enters the lungs, right? What happens? It now infects the lungs is now infected. So as once it passed here, right? The body already knows, so it starts producing the mucus. The mucus is produced to protect the organs, so it's to protect the lungs. But if it get overrun, right, is a problem. or it producing so much mucus because you're not giving the body anything to help it fight, right? So now you keep running out of air, right? And as you run out of air, you're not energy anymore. Before long, you see them in a black bag or something like that, right? So when you know what you are, and you know that air brings the first food of the body, oxygen, right? Where do we get air from? The atmosphere. Where do we get the oxygen from? Oxygen we get from the trees, right? The trees release the oxygen. So when we talk about air, right? Everything that is green in nature represents air. This is why even when you go into the hospital and they give you an oxygen tank, that shit and all is green. They can't lie to you. They're gonna mislead you, but they ain't gonna lie to you. Right? So when you know what you are, or choose to know what you are, the energy that you are, right? You understand what the body needs at any given point in time. And at this point in time, that shit can't take heat. So when you hear people tell you eat garlic, garlic is fire. If you bite up garlic in your mouth and you're not accustomed to that, it could burn up the inside of your mouth. Right? And this is why garlic is anti everything. Right? The ginger. You know, the lady say she bite as soon as she bites in the ginger, within minutes her throat clear up, right? Then she said what? She didn't know ginger was hot. Right? So I don't know what kind of ginger she was eating all this time. Maybe she never ate ginger. Right? You know, so all these things, right? All these things, all these fuel from nature, right? That we could put in the body to create a fire that destroys the virus, right? Cayenne pepper, garlic, some ginger, right? Even if you don't have ginger, some turmeric, right? Some lemon juice, right? Real fire right in your kitchen. And you continue to fuel the body with that. What will happen is the cayenne that you put in there promotes circulation, right? So it's going to start moving real fast, right? And when it moves, what it's doing is taking everything with it. It's taking the fire with it. So as it takes the fire with it, the body heats up even faster, right? And when you put things like garlic and ginger, why you think that when you eat sushi, they give you that pickled ginger, right? That is to destroy any type of bacteria that might get past the stomach, right? From eating the sushi. So they know everybody knows ginger is very antibacterial, right? It does a lot more things too, right? So you taking all of this around the body, right? Circulating, maintaining that temperature, right? So if this so-called virus was to come around, right, it more than likely wouldn't even enter the nostrils or the mouth, because your body will be vibrating that straight fire energy, right? Remember, we are energy. And when you releasing that, you talking and your mouth smelling like garlic and onion and all. People and all sometimes don't even want to come near you. You think a virus will want to come near you? Right? Pay attention and choose to know what you are. Right? You catch this shit, right? Let's even before because we ain't catching nothing. There's nothing to catch. We are energy, so we have to keep flowing, right? It's just the state of the mind today is so far away from the body that it's we acting like two instead of one. But we know there's only two things. There's the mind and the body, the seen and the unseen, right? And this is where you put them together and they become one. So everybody that's walking around on this planet, everything that's moving on this planet, everything that we could see, that's the body, that's the physical, right? And then everything that we can see, right, is the mind. And the mind and the body is the oneness. That's the one energy we are. Yo, yo. Yeah, sometimes you just have to just laugh, because you don't want to put yourself in a state, to know that it's so simple, but there's so much information flooding each way, every how, right? It's just like you're at a point where you don't know what to believe, right? And this is why I just be telling people belief is belief, right? You switch from one to the next is still a belief. What you have to do now is choose to know. When you choose to know the energy you are, you understand everything that's going on out here, right? Everything. And no little virus could come and cause so much chaos. Nature doesn't destroy itself, despite what you've been taught about it. It can't, because it is the energy that is. Know the energy that you are. Look at the body the same way. Put the right things in your body. You will go. We'll be over with this very quickly, very quickly. You understand? The reason why we don't know or we weren't taught about the energy that we are, right? Because when we look at each other for what we are, the energy that we are, that will cancel out a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. We mightn't hate each other again. That's a problem, yo. That's a problem. It's a problem for society. If you start looking at everybody that you see, everything that you see out here, look at it for the energy that it is. Right? The energy that is nature, right, will always win. It always wins. It keeps going on. Right? And you know why that is? Because nature cannot be taught. It is the energy that is. Right? When you know the energy that we are, right? What you think is going to happen? Yo, that shit is crazy, man. But there's things you could do. Remember, put the right things in. Don't be all the other type of foods that they're giving you and calling it food. I guess that's really what it is. Food. Right? It's not fuel. Your body needs fuel because you are energy. Right? And remember what I said, right? You hear me using that word because speaking, right? Remember what I said about shit, what is that thing, buddy? What is that? Oh my god. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Remember what I said about the mind and the body. There's only two things, the seen and the unseen. Right? The unseen is all the space that is in front of us, right? Where everything is happening. Right? That's the mind. So now when you look at the body, Right? Remember, nature cannot be taught because it is the energy that is. When you look at your body for the energy that it is, right? Now, choose to know where there is space in your body, right? Because the space is what represents the mind, the unseen. Can I see down your GI tract? Can I see up in your nose through your airway? Right? Can I see down in your ears what's going on down there? All these places is where we have space. That's your mind. This is why we choose to fuel the body with the way we do. Right? We don't feed it. When you feed things, you feed it to get fat so we could eat it. But you have to fuel the body, fuel your body. The mind, take it back because it belongs to you, it belongs to us. Right? Why you think they're spraying all that shit since who knows when? When you inhale it and enters your body, right? It continuously breaks the body down, but nobody cares about that because we don't know the energy that we are. Right? When they keep feeding you that processed food, that dead food, it's for a reason. Because the more I break your body down, the less you feel what is real. Right? And I have to do that. They have to do that because this is the only way they could teach you emotion, right? Because emotions are triggered feelings from what you've been taught, one way or the other, right? And once you're running off emotion now, true feeling, the feeling that is the energy that flows through us, is, how to put it, is not even a thought. Right? It's not even a thought. So pay attention. Observation is key. Know what you are. And now you create the change. Don't let them direct it. Let us, right? Let nature, let the energy that is, right? Take control of this right now. Let's just be, right? Know what we are. Fuel the body correctly, right? Pay attention to what you're watching, right? Because space is also represented by what? The darkness. Because when you look out in space, you don't see anything, right? And when you look up the nose or you try to look down the throat, it's dark down there, right? Because the space is nothing there. That's where the mind is. That's where everything is. Right? Pay attention to what you listening to. Right? Because the more I feed you, right? The more I feed you, the more they feed us. Right? The more they feed us, and we continue to eat that, right? You interrupt the flow of energy in the body. This is why pain comes. This is why suffering comes, right? Because we're not giving the body anything it needs to energize itself because of the energy that it is, which is nature. Nature does it with no problem. And we call them natural disasters, right? It would never be a natural disaster if we knew what we are. Because we will feel everything that's happening in nature. This is what we do, because this is what we are. So, it's just one of them things. What we will do is, I think tomorrow I'll try and I'll switch up real quick here because I gotta bring it back down a little. Tomorrow Um, well, if I get this stuff, I'll make some what do you call it? Some homemade cleaning products for you. I'll just give you some just some options, things that you could do. And because you spraying all that Lysol and stuff, and that shit is poison. So it is breaking down your respiratory system, right? So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of all the bleach products that you're using, um, because it will affect your respiratory. Read the bottle, call them up, ask them for the MSDS sheet. You know, you find out. Find out. Don't Google it. Call them up, right? They have a number. So we'll make some of that and show you all different ways you could do it. And it's all with things that's in your kitchen, just food. That's it.